Hi everyone, I am Janvi. Today I'm going to be talking about how to become a professor in India. A lot of people, I think, don't know that they can become a professor just with their master's degree. They don't have to do anything extra. When you have a master's degree, you need to clear an exam called the UGC NET. So it's by the University Grants Commission, and the NET exam is National Eligibility Test for Assistant Professorship, which means if you clear this exam, you can become a professor anywhere in India. However, this exam is a little more difficult to clear as compared to the SET, which is SET, which is the state eligibility test, which means if you clear that exam, you can become a professor anywhere in your state. So if I clear the SET in Maharashtra, I can get a position anywhere in Maharashtra. And NET is, if I clear it in Mumbai, for example, if I gave the exam in Mumbai, after clearing NET, I can also become a professor, accept a position of an assistant professor in Delhi, for example. Now, I have not mentioned a lot about this on my YouTube channel, but I have also cleared my NET exam. Now, it's not very easy, obviously, to crack. There are, like, I saw the statistics in 2020, 12.67 lakhs people appeared for this exam, out of which 47,157 people cleared it. So there are a lot of people appearing for it, but hardly a few who clear this exam. But again, if you've done your masters, I would say that if you're focused well, if you're studying well, and if you've not started your masters, you're just thinking of keeping this as an option, of what I was thinking, because coming for a PhD, I'm currently doing my PhD in counseling psychology in America. I wasn't sure if I will get in, because generally one university accepts only 5 to 7 students per year in psychology, and out of that, international students are very few, just one or two. So if this wouldn't have happened, I was planning to pursue my PhD back in India. And by clearing the NET exam, you also don't have to, that also gives you an opportunity to start studying, doing your PhD. If you don't clear the NET, then you have to give another exam, which is a qualifying exam to start your PhD. So that's why I also gave this exam, and it also gave me an opportunity. Just with the UGC NET, I could have started applying for positions in India. Now, these positions are, it's pretty complex. Since I've not been into that process, I'm not an expert, but from what I've known is you can get a position as a professor, a government appointed position, only when there is a vacancy of a person who has retired from that same position. So just because you have UGC NET, you've cleared that exam, doesn't mean that every post you will get as a professor, or every job you'll get will be a government job, because generally, it's if you get the position on your NET, it is a government job, which also gives you pension in the future. However, there are fewer posts opening up, so generally people also end up taking jobs on private contracts as a professor. But anyways, clearing that exam gives a very good impression that you are eligible to become a professor, and when you've cleared that exam, easier to get even a job on a private contract. So this is, I'll tell you the process of it briefly, and I'll also make a separate video on how I cleared the exam, and what I did, how I studied, whatever I know and what I have done and what worked for me. I'm going to share that with you, and the resources that I used, I'm going to share that too. But for now, I'll just say what this does is, for example, you need to finish your masters. Earlier, I've heard a lot of years back, people would have to do their masters and then separately go ahead and do their B.Ed or M.Ed again to be able to teach. But now, I'm glad that things have changed. Now, after doing your masters, the fact that you're able to clear this exam means that you can become a professor. You don't have to do an extra degree. So that is great news. So you can do your masters in economics, your masters in political science, even in the science streams, masters in psychology. And then if you want to keep this option open of becoming a professor, you can give this NET exam. The registration process and everything is pretty simple. It opens, it used to open twice a year, but now with the pandemic, things have changed a lot. So you have to keep an eye out on when the openings come. You have to fill the form, you have to pay a small fee, and that allows you to appear for the exam. Now, how you prepare for it is very important, so I'm going to make a separate video on it. But the good news is that you can give this exam even if even if you are just considering of becoming a professor, and but you don't know how to. However, now I have also seen a few colleges, because they're opening up, they're newly opening, and they need professors, especially in psychology. And I have seen vacancies coming up with, even without a net exam requirement. So just with a master's, a lot of people are applying for positions of professors, and a lot of them are able to get that. However, I would personally prefer, if you can clear the net, it's best, because such positions are less and rare. And even if it's a position in a private college which is not giving you a government position which will give you pension, etc., even those, a lot of those positions require you to do your masters you require you to complete your to have passed your UGC net at least. So even if they're not hiring you on the UGC net contract, they are at least expecting that you do it. If you are if you score extremely well, if you're on the top, you can also get the JRF, which is a Junior Research Fellowship. I missed it by 2 marks because I had just 4 days to prepare for this exam. It was just unannounced and it just came up suddenly. But JRF, but yeah, if I would have probably given the exam again. However, I got into a PhD program abroad, so I didn't want to do that. So JRF is Junior Research Fellowship, which will give you which gives you a lot of other opportunities, such as to when you want to do a PhD, it gives you a stipend. However, again, this is also pretty complex. What I've heard from personal experiences of people is that positions, you need to get that position and you need to get that vacancy, which again in India is hard because there are so many people there. So a lot of times, even if you have cleared the JRF, you have to wait till you get that opening where you can get your stipend and still pursue your PhD. But this is I thought it was great news when I learned about it. I was doing my masters, that you can give this test, and that opens a lot of doors for you. I hope this video helps, and do look it up on Google. I would suggest to look it up directly on its original website. They have put a lot of things there, and because that will not misguide you in any ways. So looking up at their original website, the UGC net website, is great. I'm going to put it in the description, and I'm going to be soon making a video on how I studied and cleared this exam. Thank you. मन पर काबू कैसे करूं